Okay, The Dark Knight Rises. This, of course, is part 3 of the Nolan Batman trilogy. Now, in the past, the third has almost always been one of the weaker films. Godfather 3, Spider-Man 3, X-Men 3, the third Matrix movie. Even for some people, Return of the Jedi is the weakest out of those 3 movies. So there's lots of anticipation, would this one be every bit as good or better than The Dark Knight? All I can safely say is, wow. I'm in my mind trying to figure out, okay, when can I make plans to go to Chicago Navy Pier and see this on IMAX? I did it for The Dark Knight, and this movie was fantastic. Notice I haven't said the phrase, this is a great comic book movie. No, this is a great movie. Period. Lots of people complain about, oh, Tom Hardy is big, he doesn't seem physically imposing enough. Yeah, when they show him, and he is packed on a considerable amount of muscle, he doesn't look cartoonishly big like a professional wrestler. I mean, he looks, he doesn't have like super defined abs, but he has that, what we call hurting muscle. I mean, even though he's got the face mask on, like, oh, he can't really emote very well. I don't know who in the world you were watching. You can do a lot with the eyes, head movements, and everything else that don't require to see somebody's lips. His Bane is equal parts menacing, calculating, and just a freaking monster. Wow, this was Bane done right. Not, Batsuit with nipple Bane. This was a legitimate threat Bane. Period. Was it every bit as good of a performance as Heath Ledger? I don't picture him winning an Oscar for this. I mean, it's a solid performance. And everyone in this movie does a great job when it comes to their characters. Michael Caine's Alfred. I mean, he's got moments where you could swear the crowd's going to begin to cry. It's that much emotion. Christian Bale, I'll be honest, he could quit now. He could never make another movie ever again, and he will be the best Batman. Next to Michael Keaton. Wow. Now, I'm an Anne Hathaway fan, so I'm probably kind of biased, but her Catwoman, for being in the Nolan-verse, made sense. I mean, it did. She felt a lot more like the way she's kind of written in the comics, where she's not really super over-the-top bad. She's kind of has like a sort of like Robin Hood-esque feel to it. But, and another complaint I have for her is the movie is very dense. Yes. You have Blake, Bane, Batman, Bruce Wayne, Catwoman, Selena Kyle. I know they're the same character, but they act differently. You've got Alfred, Commissioner Gordon, Lucius Fox, Deckard. I mean, there's literally like a dozen characters who have meaningful amounts of dialogue and actually had this thing called character development, actually move along with the plot. Plot is pretty much a continuation from the first movie. It is Bane kind of set out to destroy Gotham City. And he doesn't have just one trick. No, he's got multiple tricks. Okay, the movie begins 8 years after Harvey Dent was killed by Batman. So Bruce Wayne kind of hasn't done anything. He's become a recluse for the past couple of years. He's had some projects that didn't quite pan out. So when they show him, he's been beaten up from his time as Batman. He walks with a cane because his leg is pretty much destroyed. And then all of a sudden, these massive attacks happen, and he's like, well, the cops can't do anything because they've had that 8 years of most of the big gangs are done. It's minor stuff here and there. And then when Bane shows up, he is an undeniably credible threat to the city that's kind of rested on its laurels. And then Batman going, I can take him. I've beaten everyone before. Which leads to their initial confrontation. One of the big complaints there was in Batman Begins is that fights were super frenetic. And you really couldn't tell what was going on. It made sense because, you know what? That tied how Batman was fighting. There wasn't a lot of skill. He was just good at brawling. When you see him fighting now, it is beautiful camera work, nicely choreographed fights. And yeah, there are moments where when you're watching those two guys go at it, And you can tell this beautiful ebb and flow because they're both fighting, and ironically, you can't see anything for Bale except for his face, except for his mouth area, and then for Bane, you can't see something, but you see everything else. The super tight mask, you see like his skin coming through the vice grips on the front. Wow. You know, Bane's plan was ridiculous. And his voice kind of sounds like Sean Connery. It's actually Tom Hardy going through like a voice synthesizer, but wow. Beautiful sense of twists and turns. There is a good focus on Batman, a good focus on Bruce Wayne. A lot of it is on Blake. That's Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. So everyone gets perfect amounts of screen time. You know, this has probably been the best movie of this year. Period. Is it going to make as much money as the Avengers? No. Does it matter? No. No, this movie, Avengers, was more of the big summer blockbuster. It was the movie that people are going to go see, and it's going to be big, bright, and flashing in 3D. This is the movie that's probably going to win an awful lot of awards, be a very, very solid movie. And I'll be honest, my first thought was, I want to own this on Blu-ray and watch the Batman trilogy. Genre behind me, I have like the DC animated movies, Lord of the Rings, and the Green Lantern Blu-ray. Green Lantern fan, sorry. But that's about it. There's really no other movies behind me. My first thought was, man, there's just enough threads that go through the other previous movies. You could watch this in one whole sitting, and it's all going to make sense. I can't think of any 3 movies, except like The Lord of the Rings, where you can watch, and there's very little inconsistencies. This was a beautifully done movie. Now, I will throw this in. This is the end of the non-spoiler portion. If you play spoilers, I will remove them. Okay? Period. I will remove them. So now we're going to spoilers. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, double goose eggs. It's your last chance. Here come the spoilers. Okay, the first time these two fight, they fight, ironically, in a sewer complex below Batman's armory. And Bane destroys Batman and injures his back. And then tosses him into the prison where Bane spent a lot of his life. The only way to escape is to be able to make your way out the top. Only one person done that before. It was a child. Spoiler, it's not Bane. It was a child of Ra's al Ghul. Ra's al Ghul didn't have a boy. He had a girl. A girl named Talia. Ironically, Miranda Tate is Talia al Ghul. So the trigger person to help destroy Gotham using the neutron bomb is also the person who's having part of the love triangle with Batman. Yeah, so Bane destroys Batman physically, mentally, emotionally, tosses him into this pit. The only way to escape is to climb this super difficult trick, jump out, make your way out. Batman tries and fails several times until they realize it's the one way to do it, and he gets out. And then he shows up with 1 day left after Gotham has been decimated. I mean decimated. The bridges are gone. Most of the major streets have been destroyed. There's martial law. Bane controls everything. All of the rich have been taken from their homes. It is mass anarchy. It is somebody who decided to go, you know what? I'm giving the city back to the people. Oh, by the way, I'm in charge. You have everything you want. Do whatever you want to do. If you cross me, I kill you. If someone shows up to help you guys, I kill you. That's it, period. I control this city. I've taken out the structures that were in place, are all corrupt and all evil, and put myself in charge. With sheer and undeniable anarchy. So all of a sudden, Bruce Wayne makes his way back. He can't do it alone, though. He enlists Selina Kyle, who Batman and Catwoman have had some moments where they've tussled and they've worked together. But he can't do this alone. He has to try to strike at Bane, as well as get all of the cops who are buried under the city out. Remember I said he planted bombs everywhere and destroyed the city? Yeah, lots of streets that he destroyed, the cops were in the tunnels underneath the cities. So he trapped all the cops, released all the convicts, and more or less created a mass anarchy in the streets and said, you know what, I'm doing this all for you. And then put himself in charge. And through essentially a trial where if you were found guilty for whatever reason it was, your choice was either exile, you walk across the ice and fall to your death and drowned, or to die by being sent on the ice, where you fall to your death and drowned. And who's presiding over this court? Cillian Murphy. Yeah, Dr. Crane, the Scarecrow. Yeah, so ironically, only one person has really died beyond the Joker. That's Ra's al Ghul, who makes his way back in kind of like a bizarre, whacked out vision from Batman. So Batman finally faces off against Bane, knowing Bane's weakness, that mask. He works the mask, and pretty much has Bane defeated. And then he goes, who's your trigger person? That's when Miranda Tate reveals she's Talia al Ghul, and stabs Batman. And then goes to bolt the bomb. However, the bomb is set to a timer to ignite anyways. So even though they happen to successfully stop the bomb from going off, it's going to go off in like 12 minutes. Batman and Catwoman now have to destroy like three bat tanks using a bat cycle and a bat plane to try to direct the semi carrying the bomb back to the reactor. They finally get to the point where they think they've got it stopped. Doesn't matter. Miranda Tate was put in control of Wayne Industries. She floods the tunnel. So they have a bomb set to go off in a couple of minutes. Batman, bat plane flies out. Explosion. Batman is no more. They have a funeral for him, for Bruce Wayne, and there's no body. Now, if you know comics and you know Batman, you know Bruce Wayne. If there's no body in comics, they tend to not be dead. Alfred, after he's somewhat retired, he's sitting down and he's looking over. And he looks over and there's Bruce Wayne and his girlfriend, Selina Kyle. Yeah, they're alive. Bruce Wayne set the autopilot to drive off when he fell into the water. So, Batman died. Or did Batman die? A set of coordinates were given to Detective Blake, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character. So your ending is part Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, Detective Blake, or Robin, that's his name, Robin, in the Batcave with Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle out kind of celebrating life. So yeah, Nolan left this open where if they want Christian Bale wants to come back to be Batman in the Justice League movie, he can. Or if Joseph Gordon-Levitt wants to be Batman in the Justice League movie, he can. That's how you have a beautiful trilogy. You kill off Batman, put in a replacement, at the same time, have it set for Bruce Wayne to come back, if he needs to, put on the cape and cowl.